me know what you think. So I need to move, right? Because, well, when she finishes setting that up. You finish, and then I'll do it. Okay, fine.
Yeah. There's some keys. Thank you.
So, there's a lot that we have to accomplish in just a very short time, not just in the training in general, but also this evening. So I'm going to do my best. And Prashanti, are you leaving? Because I wrote down some things that I need to discuss with you.
No.
So will you be here when I'm done?
No problem.
Okay, great. All right, so one of the things that we had to do was create a code of conduct, which I think that we can cross that off the list. Thank you.
At least it was a little bit. At least my writing over helped a little bit. Okay.
Okay, so I want to clarify, we're going to introduce ourselves to each other. And I would like, so we tried to set this room up so that this wouldn't happen. And we didn't do it, I don't know, I think you all moved into this anyway. So can we be more of a circle and less of a stage? More together? Because I want to have a conversation, not just talk at you.
Let's get rid of a couple of these.
Give me this.
Well, I'm sitting this one.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
So, welcome everyone. I'm Stephanie, and it's a pleasure to have you all here. Some of you I recognize already, and some of you I've been communicating over email with for weeks and months and even years, and I feel like I know you already. So I want to start going around the circle. We have some nuts and bolts that we have to cover, but let's just get to know each other a little bit. So Heather, let's write this down on the thing. This is Heather. I'm going to tell you more about who I am and what I do and how I got here, but I'm going to save it because we have a whole opportunity built into the schedule where I can talk about everything that led up to this. So you'll just have to withhold your suspense over all of that for a little bit. So I want to go around the circle and I want you to tell us your name. Oh. Yeah. Because otherwise they'll forget what they're supposed to say. One thing that is unique about you, and I know there are many, many things that are unique about you, but it helps us to identify you as, oh, that's the person who helps us get to know each other a little bit better. Why you're here. So there are 4 things. We're changing colors. Yes. Why you're here. And one reason, one answer to the question, why yoga for arthritis? And that question can be phrased, why yoga for arthritis? Or it could be phrased, why yoga for arthritis? So you can answer either of those questions. And I've done this training with 25 people. So I know there are at least 25 unique answers to the question, why yoga for arthritis? So you cannot duplicate an answer. In saying that, the more specific your answer is, the more it allows for other people to have a similar but different answer. Okay? So let's begin.
I knew you'd start with me.
I want to start.
I also just know that there's a video camera right there. It's for someone who can't be here, and so that's a person who is with us. Hi.
Hello. Her name is Matt.
Right.
Okay, my name's Vicki. Something unique. I'm retired from the Air Force.
Oh, wow.
Why am I here? Because I have arthritis and in my back, and I struggle with it. And I know I've already learned the motion is lotion. I'm sure you've heard that expression before. And why yoga for arthritis? Because because bouncing hurts. Zumba makes it worse. So.
Yeah, so I'll hand this up over there and you start writing the list. Okay, so the answer was, so because other physical practices
Make it
are-
worse. I've also had surgery on my back. I've had major surgery on my back. So bouncing is really bad for it. So I need to move, and I need to move so that there's no impact, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
So that actually is 2 answers. And those are, exercise helps people with arthritis.
Right.
And no impact exercise is more gentle on the joints. So you stole somebody else's answer.
Right.
Okay, so can you actually,
Um,
okay, so it's
I just used
actually,
her words.
okay. So one thing
Low
is
impact.
exercise helps people with arthritis, and 2 is,
She already got that bouncing.
right, okay, fine. So
No, no.
bouncing is the same as no or low impact is gentler on the joints. So just make the other one, exercise helps. Bouncing hurts, exercise helps. Those are the 2 answers. Okay. And, all right, so you got your 4.
That was it.
Great.
I'm done.
My name is Phyllis, and I guess what's unique about me is like I'm 60 now, and when I was probably about 9, I raced little quarter midget cars. And I was from Ohio, and it was really fun. My parents would take me there, and they even had they had the parents drive the cars around too after that, and I was the only girl. So I grew up a big tomboy, and back then my mother was like, "Are you gonna ever wear dresses, or gonna be a girly girl?" I'm like, "No." So I've always been into exercise and being with guys, stuff like that. And I'm really here because my mom has rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, and I'm a massage therapist in South Florida, and everybody I work on is older. And so many of these people have arthritis. I have one of my clients, his hands are like this. He can't even open his hands. And I keep thinking to myself, that movement, just, you know what I mean? It would help him so much. And the thing that I think yoga is so critical is that you have a relationship with your body. It's just not exercise.
Okay, stop before you take any other answer. Okay. Relationship with the body.
Sorry.
That's what happens. You get on a roll and
Yeah.
then 4 answers are out.
Right, sorry.
Thank you.
My name is Irene, and I'm a transplant from New York to Virginia, and love it. I guess what's unique is that I have already, before retirement, sold our home and downsized to 900 square feet, me and my husband, and love it, and love the simplicity of life. So I'm enjoying this whole new adventure. Why am I here? I'm really passionate about yoga, and it's the many ways in which you can incorporate it into your life for your health and well-being. And why yoga for arthritis? Because I'm not getting any younger. And so I know with inflammation from Lyme disease that I'm noticing my joints feel very different, my body feels very different, and I hope to incorporate this into my practice and then share it with others.
Okay, so to clarify your answer, I think it's something about inflammation.
Inflammation that I believe,
So,
yes.
so tell me why you think that yoga has a role to play in inflammation?
Well, because yoga to me it becomes more than just asana practice.
Mm-hmm.
So as you get to know your body, you begin to learn ways in which to care for it. So you're
Self-care.
so that's why I feel that this has happened to many other ladies.
Right.
Sorry for the lady across the room.
I'll help. I will help as needed. I can prompt, guide.
I'm Julie Ferrari, and
Oh, hi, Julie.
something unique. I guess I really like to grow things and move earth around, and so that leads into why I'm here, because I use my body all the time, and I don't always take the best care. I do try, and I've gotten a lot better. And so I know that I'm going to probably be an arthritic person, overuse, and like everything that I would say has already been
Oh my,
said.
you're the
What am
fourth
I gonna-
person.
Oh my God. I'm like, what is going on? Oh gosh.
No pressure.
You gotta keep moving, and you have to meet yourself where you are.
Thank you. Okay. Meet yourself where
In
you
order
are.
to keep moving.
Yes.
Mary Jane Ross. What's unique about me? Well, I feel like I am coming into some wholeness that I have not had throughout my life. And I'm so grateful for it. It's wonderful. Anyway,
I can just feel that, like, as you say it,
Yeah.
it just, there's something that comes from you. I'm excited for you.
Yeah. Let's see. I've done yoga on and off for like 40 years, but I retired from public health nursing about 8 years ago. Went in and started doing it. We did the teacher training and felt that there was a lot of stiffness, but I have become much more flexible and stronger, and I like it. I've got more energy, and so there are many women my age who I hear complain, and I think with some facts, maybe I can get people on that healing pathway also. So
I'm a fellow public healther. I don't know if you know that.
No.
Yeah, I'm a PhD in public health.
Uh-huh. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
And have I answered all the questions, or I have?
Why
told
yoga
you
for arthritis?
Why yoga for arthritis?
You've already sort of hinted at things, so
Well,
pick one.
I was diagnosed with something in the cervical vertebra in the lower part of my back, and maybe it just hasn't taken off yet, but I think the yoga I've been doing has really helped that a lot.
Okay, has helped.
Self-care has helped me not to be crippled, be in a lot of pain.
Okay, maintain mobility.
And why yoga?
You just answered it.
Good, thank you.
It made the list.
Yeah.
I'm Lisbeth, and something unique about me. I love water, and I love yoga, and I love to teach yoga in the water.
Like stand-up paddle? What kind of yoga in the water?
In the water, yoga in the water, practicing in the water. Many of my students come who have arthritis. My mother's on her third set of knee. She has rheumatoid also. She's 83, and watching her over the years and trying to encourage her to be in her body has been a very difficult thing to watch and not, be bossy.
It's hard
she's on
to
her
work
path.
with your family in something that you are an expert in life. Applying it to your family is much more challenging than applying it to some stranger who walks in your door.
Yeah, and also both of my parents are experiencing stenosis. So those are things that I want to learn more about. And I just see the magic that yoga brings to people with chronic pain. So why yoga?
Okay, I think you
For
already answered that,
arthritis.
right. Chronic pain management. Elizabeth, I know somewhere in my brain is something administrative that I need to talk to you about that maybe you know what it is?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
just find me.
My name's Karen. Something unique. I'm a baker. I love to bake. All kinds of things. From decadent to gluten-free, dairy-free, all kinds of stuff.
Where are you located?
You don't remember that.
Do you ship things?
We could figure something out. But it's an art to me, like everything in life. Everything in life is an art, so it's just another extension of art for me. Why I'm here. A lot of different reasons. Two basic reasons. One is to help myself. I sustained severe radiation damage, spinal cord injury from it. Was dragging my left side, couldn't lift my feet, whole 9 yards, the pain, all of it. And the radiation damage is just going on and on and on, and now they feel all my joints, my organs are being attacked by rheumatoid arthritis. And I also have osteoarthritis in my hips from the radiation. I know the power of yoga. I started when my children were little. They're 27, 28 now. And that's what's gotten my movement back. I could have gone the route with the head neurologist that I was working with and the director of the pain center where I live, where they wanted me to use cocktails, cheese and hedgehog to go.
So I think maybe you're gonna be sharing your story later in the training. Is that you?
Okay. If you want me to. Okay, so I'll shorten this.
Yes.
I'll shorten this. So it's to help myself, but also to help the people, the population that I work with. I work with other cancer survivors and patients. I work with a lot of older people. I just want to share the power of it and how it strengthens the body and
Okay, stop.
eliminates.
Strengthening.
I'm Linda, and something unique, I played bluegrass bass fiddle for 15 years.
Oh,
Ah.
That terrible.
You're so
Did you bring
cool.
it?
No.
Oh.
It's not a solo deal. Let's see why I'm here, twofold. One, self-care, but I'm a nurse and I work with the elderly, and I have a larger base of information and knowledge to share with them. And why yoga for arthritis? Everybody said a lot of really neat things. Then I thought, well, there's the mind-body connection.
Yes.
Need to bring in motivation.
Okay. Just
Mind.
because my body's connection. Great.
Forced into the realm.
Hi, I'm Judy Langwood, and something unique. I'm a retired college English professor.
Oh,
William and Mary.
Okay.
Here. Once a teacher, always a teacher. I retired early because I had rheumatoid and osteoarthritis.
So maybe it was you.
I don't know.
Well, I communicated with someone by email months ago who wrote to me and said, I have arthritis, I'm really excited about taking your training, and I said, wonderful, would you be willing to share your story with the group, because we have a session for a guest speaker where we talk about just that. And the person said, yes, absolutely wonderful, and I said, okay, when it gets closer, I'll give you the details. And then I couldn't figure out who that person was. So if that was one of you, then please come talk to me, and if not, we have a few other options. Okay, so continue.
So why am I here? Well, yoga is what brought me. That was part of my physical therapy, was yoga. So why am I here? Because I know it's needed in our community. It's needed at the Air Force Base and Army Base that I teach at, and our local YMCA. Now, why yoga for arthritis? I'm going to say, why not?
That is not Miss English teacher. You can't answer. This is not the Socratic method.
The reason I'm saying why not yoga is, with all that we've seen so far, the yoga is what keeps you independent.
Okay,
in lots
there.
of ways.
Thank you. Independence.
Independence.
I've had yoga English teachers like you.
You stole everything.
Yeah.
And I was going to say independence. Oh my gosh. We're going to have to find a different place to sit. My name's Lori, and something unique about
Is it warm in here, or is that my pitta?
It's a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, who knows how to flip the fans on? Is that going to make it
Should
loud?
be, like, right there.
Okay, you continue, because we're on a schedule here. I'll just do this. Oh, it is warm in here.
We knew that.
It's 78 degrees.
That's warm.
That's warm. Okay.
Something unique about me, I have a daughter who is getting married this year. She's 31 years old and she has cystic fibrosis. And I raised her on natural medicine, completely on natural medicine. So I'm pretty happy about that. And why am I here? Because I work for an orthopedic physician's practice. They have a wellness center attached to their practice, and it's called Arthritis in Sports. And so all my students basically have arthritis or some sort of hip or knee replacement from past problems. And I have my fair share of osteoarthritis from sports injuries and stuff when I was younger. So whatever I can learn, I'm really looking forward to. And as far as why yoga for arthritis, and to come up with something new that somebody hasn't already said.
You learned to sit on that side of the room.
You don't have to take drugs.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. She gave me that one. Rheumatoid teacher.
Yeah, so
No, what I think about
reduced reliance on medication. How about that?
I'll go with that.
Okay.
I'll go with that. Thank you. Okay, we'll sit together. Thank you.
Well, in orthopedics, what are they doing, right?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Yeah, no, but really for me, with yoga for arthritis, the big thing, why not, is because the kind of classes I teach already are all about awareness, and I mean, I really emphasize the internal awareness, and people get over their fears, they're able to move because they know they can.
Stop. You're giving away other people's answers.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. No one's going to say what I'm thinking.
Okay, well, you have to write get over fear because she said it, so the cat's out of the bag.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay, fine. Okay, you can have it because she.
No, actually it wasn't.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, okay. So my name is Ellen on the outside world, and here I'm Bika because I took the teacher's training, and if you like, they'll give you a yoga name, and that's my yoga.
I'm Prita.
You're Prita. Something unique. There's a list. Anyway, I go to Renaissance fairs. And my husband and I both, we dress up, we have a ball. I love it so much. It's so much fun. It's my happy place. I was there yesterday. If you ever have a chance to go to Renaissance Fair, I highly recommend it. It's just a little escape to, a little fantasy land, wherever. Anyway, why am I here? Well, I've been here many times before. I was certified here in 2001. Kind of saved my life from here out. Had a child pass away 24 years ago, and that kind of messes with you, and yoga brought me back, and I try to come back. I should come back every year. The last time I was here was 2 years ago, and I currently teach. I'm certified in yoga and Pilates, and I currently teach at a gym, and our base membership is average age is 52. Which means
that's
many,
unusual.
many of them suffer from arthritis. And depending on who's on my floor, depends on the class I teach that day. Because I have some ladies who are in their 70s and 80s, and they come up to me after the class and they just turn their head and they say, look, I can turn my head. Oh, so many years, it's like, they're blown away that if they move, they can move.
We were just having this conversation at dinner, that when you teach very healthy, functional students, the rewards are not nearly as, for people with pain or with limited mobility, it takes so little to make such a difference.
And they get hungry for it. I mean, you yourself know when you don't do your practice or something for a few days, ouch, you feel it. Your body's hungry for it. And why yoga for arthritis? Dis-ease.
Very good.
Dis-ease. That's from Swami. He was great. It just, these few words, just epiphanies coming.
He was still here when you were in 2001.
Yeah, I was very fortunate, very fortunate. Was here a few different times while he was still here. And just, this amazing. The most fascinating thing was just seeing how everyone treated him. I mean, it kind of gave you a little look into what it would have been like in Christ's time. Because, not that they were saying he's Jesus or God or anything like that, I don't want to upset anybody, but was such a reverence for him. And, such wisdom, and you just were in
Someone
awe.
who's figured some stuff out.
Just in awe. You're never going to achieve that, but he was just so cool.
Like a rock star.
So I come back whenever I can swing it, and now since I am a yoga teacher and I have my own business, it's tax deductible. So this time I'm staying in the Lotus Hotel. So that's why it's, yoga changed my life. I'm not nearly the bitch I used to be.
Okay, how about we word mood?
Just ask my kids, ask my husband.
I know you.
Hi. I'm Kathy, and something unusual about me, besides the fact that I'm the tallest woman at this place, is that I'm a shadow puppeteer.
What?
Shadow puppeteer, I make shadow puppets.
I got it.
And I'm here, well, one reason is that Stephanie came to my yoga teacher training and made me cry. And I wanted to learn more. And
What'd you do, hit her?
I have this effect on people. I don't know what it is.
And so I'm a yoga teacher now, and I teach gentle yoga classes at the studio where I did my training. I get a lot of people coming in who have had injuries or different health issues, and I also teach the elderly, and I'm just very drawn to that kind of teaching those kind of populations. And yeah, Stephanie really inspired me when she came.
So you're going to be revisiting some of this material. So
Good.
I came and did a day of her teacher training, so she got some of this. So in your second time around, if there's anything that you want to share, having seen it already, please do.
Okay. That's good to hear it again, because I'm really forgetful.
And it was a couple of years ago, right?
It was last year.
Last year?
You're forgetful too.
Yes.
That's where she has her writing.
That's right, I know where to write. So you answered why you're here.
Yes.
Why yoga for arthritis?
Why yoga for arthritis? There are a lot of great things that have been. I'm gonna start rambling, and maybe you'll tell me something.
Okay. Yeah, I've done that with a few others, haven't I? You heard this already. You should know.
I know, and there were 25.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so let me guide you a little bit. Think about all of the things that yoga does for anyone, and why that would be, why any of those things would be particularly important for someone with what you know arthritis does.
Improving circulation.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
See, it wasn't so bad.
You did it.
Did you know that there are certain arthritis-related conditions that can reduce blood flow to an area, and that blood flow can improve outcomes for those conditions?
I was imagining it.
Okay.
She doesn't want to show off.
Hi, my name is Leonora. People call me Leo for short. I'm also from Baltimore. Kathy and I teach yoga at the same place, and Baltimore Yoga Village. And something unique about me, I love camping. I set up my tent yesterday here and felt like a little kid again. I haven't been camping in a while, so I used to be an Outward Bound instructor. And
Why you're here?
Why I'm here, I work with a lot of different populations, and I do have elderly folks coming into my class, definitely people with arthritis coming to my classes. I have lots of family members with arthritis, and so my yoga training, my 200-hour training is my therapeutic approach to yoga, and but 200-hour trainings are very general, so I'm trying to get some more specifics about certain conditions. Since arthritis is so, since I signed up for this and told people everyone I tell, like, oh, I have arthritis, like people I didn't even know, unknown, and they just didn't know they had arthritis. So this can help a lot of people, so I'm really excited to share it. And why yoga for arthritis? I don't have arthritis, so but I'm just from dealing. Yoga has been very helpful for me dealing with like emotional stuff, So just taking from that, I imagine that the mindfulness practice of yoga can help one detach from the pain of arthritis.
Yes, wonderful, awesome. Detachment from pain. So that's different from alleviating pain. It's changing your relationship to the pain, your perspective on it, how much of a role it plays in your life. Because yoga can help reduce pain, but for people with arthritis, and certainly some forms of arthritis or more severe arthritis, there's always gonna be pain. There's what we sometimes call a new normal. But it can change how you experience that pain.
I'll get you more, but right
I get,
now,
oh, okay,
space.
we need more,
What
pin-
number do I leave out?
pins. What was the last number?
It was number 16.
My name is Anne, and something unique about me is after college I moved to China because there were no jobs in the U.S. So I just figured I'd go over to China.
What did you do in China?
I taught English in China.
Did you learn Chinese?
I learned Chinese before I went to China, so I had, like minored in it in school. So, why I'm here? I work with a lot of elderly populations, mostly in retirement homes. I prefer to work with
The second one,
special
because
needs.
they know that now. This session, we don't need it after this session, so.
And then I'm thinking, why yoga for arthritis? Working the stabilizing muscles around
Yes,
the joints.
excellent, good. Great.
Oh, I'm Heike, or Anna if you feel like this is easier for you. Gurudev once said always Heike, never Loki. That's and I'm lucky that I met Gurudev 1990. That's why I'm here. I keep coming back. I'm living in Germany. I'm like the representative basically in Germany of Integral Yoga.
Nice.
And I came here this time because I presented my own. This is also something special about me. I'm teaching partner yoga amongst, teaching children, youngsters, and adults. The youngest in our center is 7, the oldest is 82. So I'm here because I was a presenter myself, and I also gave a lecture last night, which you can
Oh, great.
you can live stream. And I think it's very important that we as teachers or instructors, we keep a balance between being a teacher and being a student. And I really planned these 3.5 weeks I'm having this time here really carefully. I didn't sign up from the beginning. I just really played it by heart because I always came here with a lot of plans, and this time I just wanted to have a good balance of everything. So the reason why I'm taking this training was actually also a little coincidence, but I thought, why not arthritis? Because first of all, I like to widen my repertoire. I want to learn, and I want to serve as many needs as possible. Because I always set my motto, freedom through awareness. So, I just really teach integral yoga, everything, hatha yoga, raja yoga, bhakti yoga, to serve more participants. Yeah. To really be open for everyone. I don't want to turn anyone down, everybody is welcome, and so far I've done very well. Never had any injuries, so.
So this is a reason, so accessibility. So she answered the flip question from what most of you have been answering. So we can talk about why the tools of yoga are particularly helpful for people with arthritis in a couple of ways. We can talk about what the challenges of arthritis are, and therefore how yoga can help with those challenges. But we can also talk about why yoga is necessary, how we make the tools of yoga, which we know to be beneficial for all, how we make them accessible to people who can't walk into a Hatha 2 class and do the practice. So yoga for arthritis makes all of those tools available to people who might otherwise not be able to partake of them. Great. It's your
Me?
turn.
So I'm Heather, and something unique, just enrolled in a master's program for complementary therapy. So I'm really excited about that. And teaching it to healthcare professionals at the hospital that I work at
She's
in
a nurse.
Baltimore, Maryland. I'm a nurse. So that's really exciting. And why am I here? Because I met Stephanie back in 2006 or 8?
No,
2006.
six.
Because coming from a westernized education, I value the research process, and I was really intrigued about how I was introduced to yoga and how it's transformed my life, and how much I really wanted to be able to apply it and get validation to it in the medical community. So I think I answered an email and she responded, and I jumped right in with the opportunity to teach yoga for this program to people with arthritis. And what I learned, because I had only been a yoga teacher for a few years, or a couple years, and I was teaching primarily to young, fit, like Stephanie, we were just talking about. And the rewards that I received from just 8 weeks teaching these people, truly just, it really opened my heart, and just like my own yoga practice like hugely expanded just from that experience. My yoga practice changed from teaching other people. I became more in touch with my body, my limitations, and my ability to teach other people and see other people really accentuated. So it was hugely valuable. And so I've been committed ever since. And why yoga for arthritis? Because it slows the progression of disease.
So I'm Stephanie, and something unique about me. So my children are 5 and almost 2. And before my first pregnancy, my entire life from birth, I was anosmic, which means I had 0 sense of smell. And so I had no smell memories. I had no, like if you described a smell, I wouldn't understand it, except that maybe because I know how to taste, I could kind of imagine. But something could happen right next to me that smelled awful, and I would have no idea. The gas could, like the pilot could be on the stove, and I wouldn't know, So I got pregnant, and all of a sudden I could smell.
Wow.
And that sense of smell, because imagine not having a sense ever, and then all of a sudden you have it. And so I would smell things and I didn't know what I smelled, because I had no memory of what the smell was. And also, something that you don't realize, for those of you who have always smelled, is that there are always smells. And imagine how your sense of smell is different during pregnancy, and then imagine if you never had one in the first place. I had headaches all the time. It was like, made me ill. And so now I have a sense of smell. I have developed an understanding of what smells like what, but I'm very sensitive to smells because they are still newly in my life.
Is there a smell school?
Which is why I looked at you when you said something about perfumes and incense and everything, right? Because like that will happen quite a distance away, and it's like, so, what is that? Where is it? Okay, so that's something unique about me. Why I'm here is a long story, and I will answer that later. And why yoga for arthritis? Gratitude. So I will tell you that, so I've been on this journey of bringing yoga into the lives of people with various chronic diseases for a while now, some a decade. And watching that process, the ones who are thriving are those who have found a way. Now, I would never tell this to someone who was newly diagnosed and came to me wanting to practice yoga. but there are people I have worked with who are grateful for their disease. And I think that's the end game. Some people probably will never get there, but it's pretty remarkable when that happens.
Oh, hi. I'm Prashanti, and
You took it away. Okay,
yeah,
so
I'm here to serve you. Really, that's why I'm here. I never know why Gurudev brings me to these situations, but later on I find out. So, why yoga for arthritis? I'm teaching. I never knew who I'm going to teach next, and you just end up doing these things, and you don't know how you got there. So I figure somebody with arthritis is going to want me to teach them soon, and that's why I'm here. But I love the idea of modifying yoga. So my asana teacher right now, I study Ashtanga yoga with Patabi Joyce, and he says the old can take practice, the young can take practice, the heavy can take practice, the skinny can take practice, the sick, the infirm, the lazy cannot take practice. So I'm excited every time I see yoga become the practice of yoga root in a new place. And this is a new thought for me. Yoga for arthritis is a specific, but I believe strongly in the practice of yoga. So I'm here to learn how to practice yoga with these limitations so that I can maybe one day, if I have it, but also take it to the people that I practice with. Yoga isn't something you think about, it's something you do.
Practice.
Practice.
Practice. Practice.
You're not off the hook either.
He has no idea what I said.
I'm always on the hook.
Yeah.
So my name is Sadashiva, and I like Prashanti. This is part of my service work at the ashram, and we live in Charlottesville, and we got back from 6 months in India about a week ago.
Oh, I didn't know it was that recent.
Yeah, I came back on Wednesday.
Are you still in culture
We
shock?
have no idea where we are.
Not yet. That hasn't even begun. But it's just great to be back here. So, and to those of you who've been here before, you know what a wonderful place it is, and it's great just to for those of you who are beginning here. It's great to visit here. So that's why I'm here. It's just to help out.
And why yoga for arthritis?
You know, whenever I sign up to serve on programs, and I never even know what I'm signing up for. I just see I can do those dates.
But why do you think that it?
Why is it important? You know,
Yeah.
a lot of the reasons I think I would imagine that for me the most important one would be to calm the mind, and for whatever's happening, and so you're having good days and bad days.
Okay. So change that. Well, put calm mind. And also put adjust to uncertainty. So you probably don't know a whole lot about arthritis yet, but there are some forms of particularly autoimmune arthritis-related conditions. Oh, well, you know about Crohn's disease.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of uncertainty. There are flares that happen, and sometimes flares happen for some very obvious reason, and sometimes it seems out of the blue. And so being able to adjust your life and your plans and your perspective, knowing that, I mean, for all of us, we never know what one day is going to bring that was different from the one before, but that's even more pronounced with some of these conditions. So that's a really good one. Right. Okay, so we have a lot still. I crossed a second thing off the list. Okay, why yoga for arthritis? We got that. Okay, so let me go through some quick and easy ones that I can then cross off. So for those of you who came in late, I want to clarify what is required and what is optional. Everything on your schedule that is in bold is required. Everything on the schedule that's in bold is in this room with us. But in addition to that, you are also required to attend noon meditation every day. That can happen wherever you choose to do it. So you can go to Lotus, and as I mentioned, I'm going to be walking there. You can go in the van, you can go to Chutambarang, you can go to GB, you can go to...
Those are pretty
yeah,
much,
okay.
yeah.
Kailash is probably hard to get to. So new meditation is required every day, and morning hatha practice is required every day. And what we discussed is that, so the morning practice is for you to start your day and get into your body and your mind and all of that, and it's not about working with students who have arthritis. It's about you and your practice, which is also important, as we've discussed. However, one day, as yet to be determined, we will have a hatha class in here that is yoga for arthritis. So morning hatha is required, noon meditation is required. Any of the other ashram offerings are optional. So morning meditation that happens before hatha is optional, evening meditation is optional, and I think that's it.
I wanted to let
Yes.
you know that there is no guided ashram meditation during the week, only on the weekends.
Okay.
So the only morning meditation option available to you is the 5 a.m.
do it.
I'm totally
Okay.
willing to lead guided meditation in here in the mornings from 5:45 to 6:15, a 30-minute one as opposed to the hour and a
Yes.
half. And if I'd like to know if that interests people. Yeah.
Because she shouldn't come and do that if
by myself.
they're right.
Yeah.
So can you raise your hand if you'd be interested in morning guided meditation before hatha?
Anybody?
I think I'd rather do the
Why don't we just do it once so that because then
Here's what
everyone
would happen. If you decided to go to the 5 a.m. next door, you would know everything that was going on in there and not be lost because, like, I would teach the pranayamas.
So
and,
should we do it tomorrow so
Probably.
that as an introduction and then
We could do it that once, and then if you decide to jump in on morning ashram meditation, the thing about guided noon is a completely silent meditation. You're on your own, so there's no practices involved, and the 5 a.m. has lots of practices. So it's kind of nice to try it.
It is unique.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing to experience.
It's also, if you don't know what's going on.
Okay, so can we have a stronger commitment of hands? If we have it tomorrow morning at 5:45, please raise your hand and tell us if you're coming. Yes, okay. So let's do that.
We'll do that, and then if you'd like to continue with that style of meditation, you can jump in on the ashram one.
But also maybe the morning that we have hatha in here, we could do
that would be great.
something before it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll open the building at 5:30 if you want to come in and get some tea first or something. And
to clarify, you're saying that you will guide us and introduce us to the practices that they
exactly, yes. I'll so that if you go there, you won't be lost. That's what we'll do.
Great. Okay.
So that's in the morning.
In the morning at 5:45 to 6:15.
You're making that required.
No, it's optional.
Yeah, but
the hatha class after it is required.
Tomorrow.
Right. So you can either do every morning. You can either do hatha level 1 or hatha level 2.
Right, but I'm hearing two things. Are we doing yoga in this room
No.
tomorrow or another day?
Another
to
day.
Be determined.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Sorry for the confusion. Okay, great. The materials fee. So almost all of you pay the materials fee on the Yoga for Arthritis website. I think there's one person who registered late who probably doesn't know about that yet, and also someone who's going to write me a check. And then there was one other person. So
it might be me.
Okay, so if you haven't squared with me about that, then see me. I have a little PayPal reader thing, and also you can write a check. So, so that's the materials fee. Okay. Also, there is this strap. Okay, so. What's so funny?
It's just so interesting.
Yes. Okay. So this strap, it's like a yoga strap, but it just has more options. So it has this loop, which you don't have to use. So you can undo this loop so that, and you can also, instead of making a small loop at one end, you can make a big loop that is the whole thing. And it also has these two hooks which fit a hand or a foot very nicely. So I was at the Sitar conference, which I'm sure I'll be talking about later in the training, and the woman who created this so she sells these, but she sells them with a card. that has examples of a lot of different poses that you could do that you couldn't do without this, like ways to bind and all of that. But it's these really elaborate poses that would be difficult for most people to do, especially the people we work with. So I said to her, I would love to have a series of poses using this that were accessible. And she was really excited. And I said, you know what, I'm going to bring it to my next training, and I'm going to ask all the students to come up with one pose that you can do with this. Okay, so you can play with this anytime you want. It will be here in this room for the duration of our training, and one assignment is for you to come up with a pose to do with this, use this in some way, and we'll take a picture of it. Okay?
Is it
So,
specific to
what does she
arthritis
call it?
or just any?
that someone with arthritis could do.
This one.
What does she call it?
So it has a mantra on it, which means the lotus blossom blooms in my heart, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the name of it? Mommy Papa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where's my pen?
Right.
Oh, thank you. Okay, cross off the strat asana. Okay. We have some things for sale in the lobby of, in the store. There's a DVD that I made with the Arthritis Foundation that's there. It has, it's interesting. So they came to me and asked me to create the video, and they had some guidelines about what they wanted, and I also told them what I thought was important. So it has, it's geared toward younger people with arthritis, like 40 to 60 was their target audience. They have a lot of people already involved with the Arthritis Foundation who are 80 plus, who are doing water aerobics and other programs, and they were interested in reaching younger people. So it's not a chair yoga practice. It uses a chair as an option, but not sitting in it, using it as a prop. So it's for people who can get up and down from the floor with assistance or without. There is a 60-minute practice that includes asana, pranayama, relaxation, meditation, Om chanting. There's also a 15-minute practice that is just sun salutations, and there's 15 minutes of just a relaxation practice. And the idea was when you don't have a lot of energy and you want to do something invigorating, or when you're in a flare and you need something that is soothing, that you can practice in your bed. It also has frequently asked questions about arthritis and how you approach a yoga practice when you have arthritis, what do you need to talk with your doctor about, etc. And then it also shows segments for every joint. So it has a segment that's, if you have arthritis in your wrists, what should you think about when you're practicing? What are some ways that you can adapt things? Everybody in the video has arthritis, and they demonstrate different versions of every pose depending on where the arthritis is for them. And it has one other thing in it. What else does it have? So it has a lot of pieces to it. I think it's pretty comprehensive. Also over there are wedges, which we will be using. I think that a lot of props, a lot of the standard props can be used for most things. So you can use bolsters and blankets and blocks in a lot of ways, but it's very difficult to find anything that works as well as a wedge for wrists and ankles, hands and feet. And we'll be using them, and you'll see how we use them, but so we have a few to work with, and then there are also a few for sale over there. And there are some books about arthritis just for you to look at that the Arthritis Foundation makes that I thought might be of interest. So go over there, peruse them. You can get them on the Arthritis Foundation website. And Heather has created with a partner a blend, an essential oils blend specifically for arthritis that she can talk about, that's for sale over there also.
Cool.
So I've partnered, and this is actually our first batch to come to market, so we're really excited about it to bring it to you guys firsthand. And we've created a whole set of sort of like disease or problem specific oils that are specific for each one. And we put a positive spin on it, so instead of saying, oh, I have arthritis, but so this one's called I Am Mobile. And so we're kind of turning your attention to something more positive. And it's specifically designed, we use black pepper, and you'll see the oils in there that are specific for increasing circulation, decreasing inflammation, and helping with joint perfusion. So it's available for $30, and it's called a room chi.
Cool name.
And it would be nice for people who aren't, quote, arthritic, but still have.
Sure, I mean,
yeah.
it's also good for muscular, just general musculoskeletal issues.
Cool.
So one of the things that I mentioned earlier, and so this tends to intimidate people when I first mention it, but it also is probably the richest part of the training. You'll be teaching each other. Like you would do in TT, but obviously we're only together for a short time, so it feels like you're getting thrown to the wolves, but the practice classes are like a laboratory. And so we're gonna split into 2 rooms, so the group will be half this size, and I'll be in one room and Heather will be in the other. And we'll be giving you feedback, making suggestions, etc. So in your cubbies are teaching manuals, and you'll learn more about the research behind this program, but the manuals have an 8-week program in them that is for mobile people with arthritis. So it does do things that get up and down from the floor. And so what I want you to do, we're going to get into groups in 5 minutes, and we have to decide who's going to teach when, because it starts, when does it start?
I don't think until Wednesday, right?
Oh yeah?
Is that right?
So maybe we can do it tomorrow?
Yeah, it doesn't
Okay.
start till
Hallelujah.
Tuesday. Yeah,
That's
we're
something
good.
that I have fixed in the schedule.
Congratulations, yep.
Something gets better every time I do this. So, okay. So we will wait and we'll do that tomorrow. So what's gonna happen is, you'll get into small groups. The groups will be 3 people each, I think. And in your group of 3, you're gonna pick one of the classes from the manual, and you're going to teach it. So you can decide how you're gonna teach it. I'm gonna teach the beginning, you're gonna assist, you're gonna whatever. So you assign roles, and you basically, and I think there's a session called group planning.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, you can decide which, how you're gonna do it, divvy up the roles and plan it together. So I want you to base it on the class that's in the manual, but you don't have, it's not going to be verbatim. Those are a framework. So you don't have to do every single thing that's in there. You can show some slightly different modifications. Use what you already know. You're all practicing yoga teachers out in the world. So feel free to make it your own. So in that manual, and some of you have it already, there's a wall class, there's a class for sciatica, there's a restoratives class. There, obviously the first class in the whole manual takes a lot of time and doesn't have a lot of content, and as it goes on, it builds. So consider that, class 10 is going to need much less explanation and have much more stuff in it than class 1, and we can talk more about that also. But so we'll get into groups tomorrow and then figure out the schedule. Okay. Also, okay, so I'm going to close because the rest of this we can just do tomorrow, and I want to make sure you get to bed. So you had some homework, and I have a quiz for you. And
you have some homework.
You know what?
You registered just today or yesterday?
Registered
A few days ago.
Okay, so is she the 16th registrant? Okay. Everyone else got homework.
I didn't get homework either.
I may owe you.
But I'm not very good on the computer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got it by email.
I
So,
don't even know.
No.
okay, raise your hand if you did not get the homework.
No, I didn't get it.
4 of you.
It was in my
Okay.
spam, but I read it.
So how can I, because some of it is linked, I mean, it's all of it, it's hyperlinks. So if they don't have access to email, how can I get that to them?
Well, they can type in a hyperlink if you want to print a hard
And
copy.
they can go do.
Yeah, they can get.
Well, you have to do it because it gives you the next question when you answer
what
the
I mean
first
is
question.
they can just type in your
Yes,
link and it'll
exactly.
take them to the beginning.
Okay, fine. So that's something that we need to do. That's
I'll
housekeeping.
copy it for you tomorrow.
Okay,
Or
great.
tonight or whatever.
Okay, fine. So that's something that I want to talk. Quiz, hyperlinks, and there's also a video to watch. So.
Yeah, I heard about the video point.
That was
it
me.
you? Is
I
this
love
all
the
on-
video.
Is this all on the computer?
Yeah.
I don't even know how to work one.
Someone will help you.
Okay.
While
I don't
you're
even
here,
have one.
you'll learn that.
So one thing
Really?
is, so there are 4 parts to the homework that you didn't get. And the reason why we started doing homework is because this is so much material and we thought, well, let's have them review some things beforehand that they don't need us to, that you can learn really easily online. So one of them is a video by Herbert Benson, which is really wonderful about the relaxation response.
How long is the video?
23, 25
20 minutes?
Because we can show it in here.
Oh, during
something. Free time tomorrow.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we have free time right after lunch, so
Okay.
if y'all want me to do a screening, if you haven't seen it, we'll
Okay.
just show it in here.
Fine. So
You can also send it, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So if you can give me.
For the computer illiterate.
Okay, who didn't get a link? Oh, the 4 that didn't do it, it's because you didn't get
Right.
it. Okay.
Did they not know when we registered?
I got a list, so they gave me a list of registrants, and they updated that list 2 times, and
Yeah.
I thought I had the most current list, except for you. So somehow it slipped through.
Or maybe
So-
it was the wrong email, who knows?
So actually, why don't you tell me your names now, and I will send the email again for those of you who use it.
So we need to do email here.
No, I'm just gonna give it to you so you have it. Okay?
You need my email or my name?
Just give me your name. Judy. Okay. Who else?
Heike, H-E-I-K-E.
Okay. And who else?
Lori.
Lori. Really thought I sent it to you. Okay. And I'm not gonna send it because you're not gonna get it anyway, right?
Well, I might be able to get my brother to print it. Or
Don't worry
something.
about it. We'll figure it out here.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll email it to these 3,
Yeah.
but we'll also
We'll
print them a hard copy with
Yeah.
the links.
And I can screen it in here 20 minutes after lunch.
But it's not just a video, it's also some online.
Right. I just mean if you
Right.
want people to have seen
Right,
the video.
exactly. So tomorrow at what time?
Right after lunch. So there's an ashram. Actually, we'll do it after the ashram tour in case people want to do that. So 30 minutes before your afternoon session, which is at what time? Is the afternoon 3:30? So I'll start screening at
3.
3. Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
so at 3 p.m. tomorrow in here is going to be the Herbert Benson video for those of you who haven't seen it. And
It overlaps with the tour.
Yeah, the tour won't take that long actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just a generous estimate.
okay. Okay, and I think that's everything. All right, so let's just come together and close. Sit up nice and tall. Roll your shoulders back and down. Relax your arms, lengthen through the spine. Close the eyes. Take a nice deep breath. You might put a hand on your belly. Full abdominal breathing. Belly expands as you inhale and softens as you exhale. As you breathe, allow your body to relax. Trust that you will absorb all kinds of interesting things without concern or attachment for what and how that process is going to take place. Get a full night's sleep, deep, peaceful rest, and come back with lots of energy for a beautiful day tomorrow. Let's share one big long Om together. Take a nice deep breath in. When you're ready, gently open your eyes.
So it would help since we're going to meditate at 5:45, for those of you who are interested, if you could take your personal items back to your cubbies and clean up a little bit, then we can get everything ready.
I think I'm gonna need a little walk unless they have them at the Lotus. I was late getting here, so I haven't even been in.
Yeah, let me check and see if I can find one in the office, because guest services has them, but they're probably closed